Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the games from this morning in the LPL and LEC and preview the pair of series that are going to take place in the LPL tomorrow. My predictions, I'm 115 and 52 on the year, went 3-1 today. We start off with Ultra Prime and LGD. This was a very unique series, despite both teams coming in at 1-4 and being towards the bottom of the standings. We had some interesting things transpire. Doggo, 17-4-18, 34% of damage. Ching in mid, 11-5-17. Hai Chao led the way for LGD, going 11-5-9, 36% of the team's damage. So Ultra Prime win this 2-0 in a tale of two games. Game one may have had, honestly, it could have had, I want to say 59 kills. I think that might be too high. But for some reason, 59 sticks out to me total, like 31-28 angle. We had double pentakills for Doggo and Ching, so they both split MVP today. If you are new to the channel, anytime someone gets a pentakill, they're automatically MVP in my book. They could lose the other two games. It doesn't make a difference. You don't see that all the time. Some of your best players of all time don't even have a handful of pentas in 10, 12 years of gaming. And Ching has one in back-to-back weeks now. Frankly, probably underrated for Rookie of the Year status at this point. Do you see YSKM getting pentakills? I don't. I don't see Leave or LP getting them either, right? So, the tale of two tapes here. Game one, very high kill game. Super high kill game, like I said. Game two, the exact opposite. We were at like 25 minutes, and it was 5 kills or so total. Very, very slow. Ultra Prime end up choking them out. They win a team fight mid, and they end the game that way. But Hai Chao did have some impact on the Jace in game one, doing a lot of work. And once again, Hai Chao, and it seems that a lot of these players in mid lane on these teams are struggling. Strive later on. I mean, Rare Atom clearly see here they win, but we talked about it yesterday. Shank, Strive, Hai Chao. They're at the bottom of the standings, but they're dealing a lot of damage game in and game out. Bulldog in the LCK, similar situation, where they're doing as much as they can, but in the end, not coming out ahead. OMG and Rare Atom, OMG 2-2, Rare Atom 3-2. I thought OMG would win this with ease. It did not happen, as RA win 2-1. Asum led the team in damage with 31%, but only had 4 kills, going 4-4 and 23. Strive, 12-0-17, went deathless, was MVP. Abel, 5-2-7, 30% of damage for OMG, as it was a mid-gap. It was a mid-gap outside of a steal by Aki in the Baron pit. I would say he got gapped as well by Lan. Top side, Shanji struggling. And, yeah, I mean, OMG, I'm kind of tired of OMG at this point now after last year. Expecting them to be good in spring, and they falter. And really, Shanji, I had him as one of the top laners in the world going into this split. I think he's really, really talented, but this meta has not fit him and allowed him to thrive, really. I think OMG had swapped coaches out, too. That may have hurt them a bit on that front. But in the end, I mean, Rare Atom come out ahead. Strive, like I said when talking about Hai Chao, he has been very consistent, a young mid laner that's performing pretty decently. Yeah, I mean, there's not much really to say. I mean, Southwind and Asum did their job in bot, keeping Abel and PP God under control. That was the angle I thought that they would win. So that is what that is. LEC Vitality 11th in the power rankings. Koi 4-5. So Vitality were 7-2, and Koi won 2-0 in an absolute slapping around of Vitality's bot lane. Malrang ends up being MVP as Comp went 15-1 and 15, 31% of damage. Trimby 4-2 and 30. Perks 5-5-5, 29% of damage for Vitality. Vitality's bot lane inted very early in both games. Malrang went down to bot in one of them to get them ahead. He also was very active around the Rift, and frankly outplayed Bo in my opinion. Bo playing Sejuani, and then Nidalee just really didn't match up to what Malrang really offered in this one, and how Malrang plays dog junglers. Topside, Photon couldn't do enough. In my opinion, I think Photon's getting a little tired of carrying the weight. The last couple weeks, he has been the only person doing anything for Vitality and winning them games 1v9. And today he just could not do it. As Zgenda solo killed him in one of the games. I think it was Kesante into Jax. It just kind of, that was the deal. I mean, mid lane was a wash. I feel like Larson was not even there pretty much. And Perks was trying, but Perks playing a Jace really doesn't make sense. Jace mid for some players looks good, but for others it just doesn't even look like it fits in draft, let alone before you see it on, let alone seeing it play out on the Rift. But circling back, the bot lane is what lost them this series. And going into the season, the thought was that Vitality's bot lane is their biggest weakness, in addition to the inexperience on top side of the Rift. The top side of the Rift kind of worked itself out. Bo has inted his face off the last 2 weeks, so that is a thing, where Photon has not. But the bot lane has always been a little sus. And they have to ban out Kate and Lucian to have any chance in hell against these bot lanes. And even then, they got gapped. I mean, they lost the bot lane turret before 9 minutes in game 1. And in game 2, they lost it at 13.5 minutes. Like, getting pushed underneath second tier turret. Like, that's how far back they were being pushed back. So, Vitality's bot lane absolutely atrocious today. Luckily, these are glorified regular season games now. Guillotine style, top 6 end up making the playoffs. So, I expect Vitality to get there. But, it's a matter of if they can improve over time here. Mad Lions in G2. Mad Lions 14th. G2 15th. Mad 7-2. G2 6-3. G2 win 2-0 in 2 sloppy games. Mad Lions had the win in both and blew them both. Broken Blade 9-4 and 19, 25% of damage. Hansama 12-2 and 11 on Draven in both. Niski 6-8-7, 33% of damage. I thought Niski had his moments. Game 2 left a lot to be desired. He had a really good play in 3v3, and then he immediately gave himself over to Hansama for the Draven's first kill, allowed him to, play with the passive there, get some gold, and that allowed G2 to get back in the game. They'd win some key team fights. In my opinion, Yike probably was MVP. The Lilia game was not as clean as the Lilia games yesterday, but we also have to keep in mind it was good enough to draw a ban in game 2, and that is huge, right? If you're able to all of a sudden play a pick 3 times in a couple days, Mad Lions clearly did not have an answer for it because they tried to play into it, and they're like, okay, we can't play into it, we're going to ban it. That's a wasted ban. That's a really wasted ban. So, for them to do that, I was not really impressed. As far as the Mad Lions are concerned, Chasey in game 2, I thought on his Jace he played it pretty well, given that he was ganked pre-5 minutes. He ended up getting them through the mid game pretty single-handedly. There were some mistakes, but at the same time, he was playing pretty well. Just in the end, it didn't work out. G2 ended up playing the mid games perfectly, and then were able to just snowball from there and come back and win. So G2 found a way, and that's really all that matters. Sneak peek for tomorrow. Top and IG, top 7th in the power rankings at 4-1. IG 12th at 5-1. Reminder, power rankings are updated tomorrow because there are 3 power ranked teams up here. And depending if Thunder Talk win against Weibo, then all 4 will probably be in the power rankings tomorrow. So, I'm not going to get a very good head start on power rankings today. Top Ultra Prime, Top beat Ultra Prime last week. IG beat FPX. Week 2, day 6, Top would win 2-0. 4 out of the 10 starters start tomorrow. Due to Wink being AD carry at the time, that's the only overlap. Jackie Love and Wink. Jackie went 7-11. Wink 4-5-5. Bot lane is the matchup highlighted as Jackie Love and Mark play On and Wink. Jackie Love and Mark have left a lot to be desired this year. Really struggling in this meta that there is going on. And On and Wink have performed well. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Draven in this one. Jackie Love likes to play it, and On likes to play it. Wink, a Blitzcrank aficionado. Maybe we see a little bit of that. It might be a spicy bot lane situation. I think top lane will be fun between King Tien and YSKM as well. So, that should be a good series. Weibo and Thunder Talk. Weibo 6th in the power rankings, 3-1, coming off of a big win against JDG. Thunder Talk on a 3-game winning streak just beat LGD. Week 7, Day 5 of Summer, Weibo win 2-1. Half of the starters overlap. The top laners remaining. The Shy went 18, 10, and 16. Hoya 7, 10, and 16 in that one. Bot lane was jungle was the matchup highlighted. Karsa and Bechuan. As Karsa, I think, has the most MVPs out of anybody so far this split in the LPL, and Bechuan has performed very, very well also. The Maokai games have really stood out to me. He's probably one of the better Maokais we've seen, especially AP-centered Maokai. High damage output, very good KDAs, getting ahead in his matchup, making things happen. Where Kars has done very well at making things happen on pretty much anything so far this year. And it's going to be a matter of who can make things happen. I think the Shy and Hoya, you can leave that on an island. I don't think Hoya... From Weibo's perspective, you can leave that on an island. I think Bechuan is going to have to go to top lane, and frankly, between the solo lanes, to kind of keep this one within distance for themselves. Not to say that I think they're going to lose outright, but I think to make it closer, the solo lanes is going to have to be Bechuan's focus, because I think the bot lane matchup's going to be interesting. Light and Crisp into Wanfeng and Yao Yao, and Yao Yao's played fantastic. I say it every time we talk about Thunder Talk. So, I think that this matchup's obviously going to get a lot of the limelight and spotlight, but this one is no slouch either. So, thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.